Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Monday edition of Source 16 News. I'm Eddie Owen. Thanks for joining us. In a news release today, local communications provider and parent company of Source 16 Television, New Wave Communications, announced it had reached an agreement with Time Warner Cable to sell its Kentucky and Western Tennessee systems. The deal, which is valued at close to $260 million, includes 70,000 video customers, 42,000 internet customers, and some 26,000 phone customers. Pending regulatory approval, New Wave will sell all of its Kentucky properties, including Hopkinsville, Madisonville, Murray, and Mayfield in western Kentucky, and towns like Somerset, Corbin, and Middlesboro in eastern Kentucky. Also sold to Time Warner in western Tennessee are the towns of Brownsville, Bolivar, and Ripley. According to a release from Time Warner, this will bolster the already 100,000 customers Time Warner has in Kentucky. New Wave President and CEO Jim Gleason said in a prepared statement today, "We're very pleased to work with Time Warner Cable on this transaction, and we're sure they'll be a great company for our communities and employees." The New Wave team has done a tremendous job of improving the overall products and service to our customers in Kentucky and Tennessee since acquiring these systems, and we thank them for their efforts. Time Warner is the nation's second largest cable provider behind Comcast. Source 16 General Manager Steve Buttram addressed the future of the station with employees today.
Time Warner's acquisition of the New Wave properties really doesn't have an effect on Source 16, as we're entirely separate from that deal. That was specifically for cable, internet, and phone customers. Doesn't really include Source 16. So we're committed to continuing the best coverage in West Kentucky, and we'll continue to do so.
The deal still has to be approved by the FCC and other regulatory bodies, but is expected to be finalized in the fourth quarter of this year. Mayfield City Hall and surrounding businesses were evacuated earlier today. Mayor Teresa Cantrell told Source 16 two young men showed up at City Hall this morning between 8:30 and 9 o'clock with an old mortar round.
Two young men came in with a howitzer 105 millimeter shell that they had purchased at the trade day at the fairgrounds this morning from a vendor. They had taken it to a local gun shop, and the owner there told them they should probably bring it up here. And immediately our police officer saw that it was a damaged shell and was fearful that it could possibly ignite or explode. So it was contained in the young men's vehicle.
She says the Paducah bomb squad was then called to the scene.
They came over. We actually had to evacuate any buildings that were within the 175-foot radius of the truck, which was located in our lower parking lot here at City Hall, actually at 5th and Broadway. So the CVS pharmacy had to be evacuated, the Allstate Insurance building, the Mayfield Electric and Water Systems offices, as well as the fire department and City Hall. And we were gone probably for a good two hours this morning while they were working on getting that situation under control, and we came back in probably just a little bit before noon.
Kentucky State Police, Mayfield Police, and the Graves County Sheriff's Department maintained the perimeter around the buildings while the bomb squad was on the scene. Luckily, the mayor says no one was injured. Well, the Christian County School District has a new communications director and a new Christian County High School principal. Superintendent Brady Link announced today that 22-year-old Heather Aubin of Hopkinsville has been hired as the communications director to replace Reagan Honeycutt, who resigned last month. Aubin says she's excited about her new role and returning to her hometown.
It is my pleasure to be back in my hometown, and as a recent graduate of Murray State University, I have obtained my degree in PR and also a minor in Spanish. I do know that just being here this morning and just shaking everyone's hands, seeing all the lovely faces, I know that I'm working with a great supportive staff, and I just can't wait to get the ball rolling. And as somebody had pointed out today, what better way to be inducted than doing my first press conference? So here I am.
Meanwhile, 45-year-old Mike Stevenson of Caldwell County has been hired to replace Kathy Johnson as the new Christian County High School principal.
I've been asked a lot of questions about me and Christian County so far in the last couple days. You could not draw up a school that appeals to me more. At this point in my career, the high school, Christian County. I was born here. I played Little League baseball and all of those things right here. So it's a good feeling. I don't know how to explain that, but yeah, I love this opportunity. And that's what it is for all of us. For me, for you, for your children, this is an opportunity that we're going to do our best to make good on.
Link says he believes that Auburn and Stevenson will add to the success of the school district. Hopkinsville firefighters battled a blaze Saturday night that severely damaged 3 businesses. Around 9:40, as a severe thunderstorm moved through Hopkinsville, 17 firefighters from 3 fire stations were dispatched to the scene of a structure fire at 807 Country Club Lane. Upon arrival, firefighters reportedly saw that the building was full of smoke and flames were shooting through the roof of the building that housed 3 businesses: Studio 807, the Hopkinsville Christian County Youth Basketball League, and Cunningham Insurance. Firefighters had the fire under control about 45 minutes later and remained on the scene until 11:45 Saturday night. Fire officials have not determined what caused the blaze, but one of the employees on the scene today told Source16 that lightning may have struck the building and sparked the fire that caused about $265,000 damage to the building and its contents. The United States and Pennyrile Area Tennis Associations held a Freedom Carnival on Saturday. Officials say the purpose of the carnival was to help integrate wounded service members back into the community. A wheelchair tennis demonstration was held for wounded warriors to show them that despite their injuries, being involved in sports is still possible. Kenny Clayton of Elkton says playing tennis is a way for him to escape and enjoy life despite being confined to a wheelchair.
Playing tennis, yes, it gives you something to do as if you weren't in a wheelchair. So yes, I am escaping. Sometimes whenever I'm feeling tired and I'm chasing the ball, I guess that I do remember that I'm in a chair. But I really, it is escape because you get out and do something that all the rest of your friends do. So yes, you do escape from it because I'm doing something that everybody else does. And I always play with able-bodied people. There's nobody around that I do play in a wheelchair with. So yes, I am escaping from.
Meanwhile, USTA of Kentucky presented Hopkinsville Mayor Dan Kemp with a $25,000 check to go toward adding lights to the Rough Park tennis complex. Despite the scorching heat this weekend, hundreds of area residents cheered over 80 Soapbox Derby racers during the 6th annual Kiwanis Club Soapbox Derby. The winners of the stock race were first place Ariana Ouellette, second place Brennan Metz Spears, and third place winner Trinity Ouellette. Meanwhile, in the Superstock race, the first place winner was Kelsey Moores, second place Hunter Trauber, and third place Jordan Moores. And in the Masters race, first place was awarded to Alex Terry, second place Kelly McGill, and Tyler Sperlin was awarded third place. The race is held annually in downtown Hopkinsville on Bethel Street next to the public library. The grieving process, especially after losing a child, is something no one can understand unless you've gone through it. Here's Michelle Herron with more.
Losing a child, something Karen Cantrell says is the hardest thing a parent will ever have to go through.
Life as you know it stops. It ends at that moment, and a new life without them begins.
What started out as a celebration of a new life turned into fear for Karen and her family when her grandson was born 17 weeks early.
He had a multitude of problems, from hole in his heart, premature lungs, brain bleeds. He weighed 1 pound and 6 ounces.
The Cantrell family gathered at the hospital garden for their last moments with a tiny, fragile baby boy, a time where Karen got to hold her grandson for the first and last time.
And he passed away in my son's arms.
But for Karen, not only was she grieving the loss of her grandson, but she also had to watch her son grieve.
Well, that's the same with other families, when they have other children, they have to, support, help them get through it. So it's a twofold, compounded grief when you lose a child.
6 months after Caden's passing, Karen found an organization for people grieving, just like her, called the Compassionate Friends.
The mission of the Compassionate Friends is to assist families towards positive expressions of grief and also to provide information about bereaved parents and families to help the community be more supportive.
Now each year, the local chapter of Compassionate Friends meets here at the Christian County Baptist Association for their annual balloon liftoff. Now you can write a note, put it in a balloon, and send it up to that special someone. The Compassionate Friends is a way for families to turn such a tragic time in their lives into something positive by helping others just like them. Michelle Herron, Source 16 News.
Friends balloon release will be tomorrow night at 6 o'clock at the Christian County Baptist Association, 905 North Drive. They'll also host potluck dinner, so you're invited to bring a dish. Here's a look at an ongoing chamber event brought to you by the Hopkinsville Christian County Community Vision Plan. The chamber is accepting donations to the American Red Cross for the crisis in Joplin, Missouri. Now, you may recall an EF5 tornado recently ripped through the town, causing major destruction and death. Businesses and individuals interested in making a donation can drop it off at the chamber or mail it in to the Commerce Center. Checks should be made out to the American Red Cross with Joplin, Missouri Disaster Relief Fund noted in the memo to ensure funds are sent directly to that relief effort. For additional information, contact the chamber at 270-885-9096. This chamber event is brought to you by the Hopkinsville Christian County Community Vision Plan.